The philosophy of all of the festivals at Cheltenham, including the Science Festival, is to nurture new talent.
What we've seen, I think, already is an impact on how people are presenting science.
You are making something entertaining but not dumbing it down, and I think that's absolutely what FameLab is about.
This is going to change the way that people see science, not only here, but science throughout the whole of Europe.
We need more scientists, we need better communicators of science.
Science communication is a responsibility that all scientists must have.
The research, doing the work is one part of it, but communicating it effectively to your peers, to your colleagues and to the public is absolutely essential.
On the surface, FameLab looks like it's just a bit of fun, but there is a very, very serious underlying purpose here. You just have to look around us to see how science is playing a really fundamental role in understanding our world and where it's going. So we need a new generation of people to explain science, if the democratic process is going to work effectively.
The British Council exists to promote the UK and the UK's creative ideas and achievements, but it also exists to build long-term relationships and trust for the UK, and FameLab fits in with that beautifully.
Newly discovered genes got FTO, lectin, insulin.
When I learnt that the Fibonacci sequence has an impact on the number of petals on a flower.
So I was hoping that'd be a bit more spectacular, but
I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't really know what the level was going to be either, and it was so high.
What I've watched over the years since the competition's been going is really often quite complicated ideas in science being presented in a way which is utterly captivating.
Competitors have to turn up at one of the regional heats. Ideally, competitors have also prepared a talk of 3 minutes.
One by one, as they sort of pluck up the courage to stand up there on that magic square and deliver their piece, it's really, there's a real energy about the event.
You just had to be in front of a panel of 4 judges.
We're looking for the whole blend of things, the science, the presentation, the content and the rapport with the audience.
And then if I win that heat, then I get to come to the finals.
Between the national heats and the final in Cheltenham, there's a full immersion weekend when they get special training.
And those sort of early embryonic skills that they've got will be honed.
And then we bring all of them back to Cheltenham for the finals, and that's where everything gets really exciting.
This year, the event was really polished, really sophisticated, really exciting.
The lights went up, the audience was in complete darkness, and it was just you on stage.
You could cut the atmosphere with a knife, and then the celebration at the end. It's like being at a football match.
It's fantastic fun, but actually very hard work. And I've got to say, I've got to have a good lie down after doing the Cheltenham final, or a drink.
Last year it was rather exciting because not only was the tension of the final, by goodness it really was very tense, they were very good, but also there were international competitors because this is now taken over from all over the world.
In South Europe, just in 1 month, in March of this year, 20 million people were exposed to FameLab through the media.
So the British Council did get it right in saying that this was a great way of celebrating British science, but also a format that would work across the board, across boundaries and across cultures.
And then the winners come to us. And, during our FameLab final, we have some samples of FameLab from around the world. And, how exciting is that?
I mean, the feedback we've had has been fantastic. I think they found it exciting, it was fun, and they felt part of a movement. They felt as if they belonged to a wider network of communicators.
FameLab е инициатива на фестивал.
Идея на фестивала за наука в Cheltenham.
Veća je energija. Bitno je ono da je u tom ledu da su zarobljeni mehurići iz zraka.
Competition made me realise that sort of science communication was definitely what I wanted to do. I've done talks in South Africa and Sri Lanka.
Radio 5 Live invited me in at about 10 to midnight one night, which I thought was fine, but it turns out they actually have up to 1 million listeners at that time.
And we know that these people become, as it were, science ambassadors, and the more user-friendly science is, the more likely young people are to think, actually, that's a great place to be because I can be part of making the future.
FameLab isn't necessarily about finding one individual who has star quality, who's going to be a household name as a TV presenter. It's much more about finding a broader range of talent among many science communicators.
People can have a natural flair for communicating science, but with training, the sort of training that you get at FameLab, they can really hone those skills and become incredibly effective communicators.
Also, the fact that, you know, it's gone international, that we have all these other countries that are doing FameLab in the way that we've set it up, the way that we've learned how to do it better. It's mind-scrambling. It's just so much more than I'd ever really imagined.